We've looked specifically at online safety for kids in a previous video, and there should be a link on this page to that one if you're interested. In this video, we want to talk about online safety for adults. So, when we're sat at home, browsing the web, looking for our next holiday abroad, should we be scared? Are we actually in any danger from viruses, scams and fraudsters? Well, it's important not to get carried away. The internet is a fantastic time-saving tool that's become more and more important in our daily lives, so we don't want to lock our computer away in a dusty cupboard just to be on the safe side. But what are the real risks and what can we do about them? Look at the top bar of the website you're visiting. Does it say HTTPS with the S indicating secure? You need to check for this if you're inputting data onto the site that you'd like to remain private. Also, if your bank is mybank.co.uk, make sure that it says this in the top bar. There shouldn't be anything between the word mybank and the .co.uk. Therefore, secure.mybank.co.uk belongs to your bank, whereas mybank.secure.co.uk belongs to a company called Secure. Yep, passwords, the bane of modern life. We're constantly being told not to write them down, to change them, and to make sure they're strong enough. Frankly, it's a complicated, confusing mess of rules and restrictions. So, let's break it down and make it simpler, shall we? First, writing down passwords. We've often been told that passwords should never be written down. This advice stems mainly from people sharing offices and leaving their passwords on post-it notes. Nowadays, we're much more worried about online hackers breaking into our accounts. They don't have access to your house, so actually, writing down our increasingly complicated passwords makes much more sense. So, do we need to change our passwords? Maybe. It's probably a good idea to do this in case a website gets hacked and leaks your data. But it's not a good idea to end up picking weaker passwords like Monkey7, just so you can change the last digit by 1 each time. Admit it, we've all done it. That brings us to password strength. Why is Monkey7 a poor password? Well, modern computer hackers use tables of pre-calculated passwords to break your code in seconds. Well, maybe you thought of something really clever, like your mum's maiden name and your date of birth, or maybe a pattern of keys on the keyboard. Sorry, not so clever, because other people have thought of the same thing and the hackers will try all these combinations first. Your best bet is to go online to a password generator site and let it pick you something that is really hard to type in and full of gobbledygook. There are apps and web browsers that will store your passwords for you, which can make this process easier. The most important way to keep viruses out of your computer is not a virus scanner, it's just keeping your computer and software up to date. Every time there is a patch or a software upgrade on your phone or computer operating system, make sure to download it straight away. These patches are often fixing mistakes that can be exploited by hackers and viruses, and once the patch is out, they'll fix those mistakes. Also, it's important to surf the web behind a firewall. These are contained in the router you get from your broadband provider and make things a lot safer. So, be wary of inputting passwords when connected to a shared Wi-Fi spot when in town, at a cafe, or at work. Banks have been really slow to do a decent job of protecting your data or your money. Therefore, it's important to use all the tools they make available to you. Choose a really good password that you don't use anywhere else and try to choose a bank that offers a security token, as they offer a much greater degree of security than just a password. Some banks let you use your mobile phone as a token, meaning that they will use an app or a text message to verify who you are. Make sure to lock your phone if you use this. Don't post too much personal information, like your address or phone number. People looking at your profile will usually know your birthday and already have your name. These are the kind of facts that can be used to slowly chip away at your online identity. Which brings us to identity theft is when someone else impersonates you to your bank, social media accounts, or other important institution for their benefit. By getting hold of some of your accounts, they can often make purchases of expensive goods using your details or steal straight from your bank account. The chaos this causes as you try to regain control and prove your identity allows the thieves more time to get away with their crime. Luckily, if you follow the previous rules, you should be a lot less likely to fall victim to this. our final topic is something which has become even more important than our computers. The mobile phone, and more specifically, phone locks. Should we have a lock enabled on our phone? Well, all phones should allow you to dial 999 in the event of an emergency, so all you lose by having a screen lock is a split second of wasted time each time you use it. Given that our phones store our location, sometimes our passwords, our pictures and our personal details, we'd really recommend use a password on them. So when we say screen lock, what do we mean? A face unlock. Like it sounds, some phones allow your phone to recognize your face in order to open it. Generally speaking, this is a really bad idea, as most can be fooled very easily just by showing them a photo of you. One notable exception is the iPhone X, which lacks a fingerprint scanner but does have a relatively secure 3D face scanner. It's best to check online how safe your particular phone is before using this feature. Speech unlock. Just like in a Mission Impossible film, some phones let you unlock them with your voice. Also, just like in a film, baddies can unlock your phone simply using a recording of you. Plus, this technology is currently fairly insecure at the best of times. Pattern unlock. Many phones have long offered the ability to unlock by drawing a shape on a grid. This is better than nothing, but doesn't actually have many different possible combinations, and is pretty easy for others to glance at as you do it. Sometimes your grubby little mitts will even leave telltale grease marks on the screen, which can help an attacker guess your code. PIN or password unlock. Like it sounds, you can put in a numeric PIN number or longer password to open your phone. A bit slow and not very flashy, but this generally works. Finally, we have our winner. Many phones have long offered fingerprint scanners. There are lots of new technologies that change what these look like and how they work, but generally speaking, the best of the bunch. They allow you to use a hard-to-guess password, but give you the convenience of skipping it with a tap of your thumb. Even better, on all the big-name phones, your fingerprint is never stored on your device. Using clever mathematics, your phone matches elements of the scan to get a match. If someone hacked your phone though, only the mathematical functions have been stored, so your fingerprint is safe. It's like an episode of CSI.